the Vanilla Gorilla, one of the rising stars in the UFC's heavyweight division. Please come on in. I hope you figured out how to use your phone, Chase. This is exciting. There he is. Wow. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you
wow,
doing?
this is amazing. Please have a seat. I appreciate you coming. All jokes aside. Yes. Is his mic okay? It's kind of cutting in and out. Say something for me, Chase.
Something.
Yes, there it is.
All right.
You came in early. Just to do this?
Yes. I didn't want to pass it up, man. This is a great opportunity.
Yes, of course. Do me a favor. Where's your mic pack thing? It's cutting. Just put it like on your lap or something if you don't mind. Yeah.
Good? Is that good? Are we good?
Maybe not, but they are going to get you another one. There is a stick mic under the desk. See this operation we have here? You got it?
This thing?
Yeah. Use that for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. And they're going to get you another love there for now. So you came in. When did you come in? Saturday?
Yesterday. I got in yesterday.
And they lost your baggage?
Yeah, man. It's been hell trying to get here.
What happened? Tell us what happened.
Well, you know, so obviously I got the call to come here, and I didn't have to kick your door in, so that's good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I got the call, got the flight changed. That was $400 to get that flight changed, which isn't a big deal.
Wow, it's worth it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we got the flight changed, and then that day I was eating a sandwich and chipped my teeth, like the front teeth, like my front teeth came out, so I had to get like $200 to fix that. And then coming in, I get my bags are delayed.
Oh no.
And I'm running late, so it's just like been hell just to try to get out here. But I'm here now, thank God.
Hopefully this is a bright spot. Now, did you get your bags yet?
Yeah, we got the bags. Yeah. So we were supposed to leave at 12:30.
Yeah.
And the bags got there at 12:30, so I was rushing to get everything together.
What a relief when you get those bags right after you.
That's never happened to me before. Never.
In your life?
No, that was the first time. But they take their precious time. It was supposed to come in last night.
Yeah.
And it didn't, but we got it figured out, so that's all that matters.
And where are you flying out from? Mississippi or Albuquerque?
I was flying out from Albuquerque, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you come alone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where's your team?
Well, my coaches will be here on Wednesday.
Okay.
So right now, my jiu-jitsu coach is from Long Island.
Okay.
So he has a couple.
Guy with the mustache.
Yeah, Mike Sanford. Yeah.
Incredible mustache.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a nice one.
So he's an actual Long Island native, but trains with you in Mississippi.
That's correct. Yes, he lives down there now. So he has some connections. So I'm going to get up with a couple guys and do some work at their gyms and stuff until my coaches get here.
Okay. And who is cornering you? Will you have Winklejohn?
Yes, Coach Wink will be there. Alan Belcher will be there, and my normal coach, James Sharp, he has a wedding to attend to. He's the best man in the wedding, so I told him, go to the wedding. One of my good buddies from back home will be in my corner.
Okay.
So he
just like a friend.
Yeah, he's a friend, but his dad was actually Alan's boxing coach. He grew up around the fighting. His uncles and his dad's all box, so he knows the game really well. You know what I mean? And he keeps it lighthearted in the locker rooms for me. He's a pretty funny cat, so I love having him around.
Okay, so we have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
So this is the thing. You fight Rashad Coulter, and by the way, if you guys want to come in and give him the love, I don't mind, just so he doesn't have to hold the mic the entire time. Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's not a problem.
It's sometimes we get a little excited with our guests, but there is my man Miles walking in here. This is our audio extraordinaire. I know he's very upset about all of this. This is his worst nightmare. A, being on camera, and B, having to change. Yeah, just take that off. It's okay. And we'll get him the new microphone. So last time I saw Chase was in Dallas. He fought Rashad Coulter. It was the fight of the night. It was one of the best fights of the year. Back and forth they went with the leg kicks. I mean, it was an amazing display of heart and determination. In the end, Chase got the win, and it was much needed because he had lost his first two fights in the UFC, and now he was on the winning track and everything was all good. You good?
Good. We good?
Nope, we're not good. We're not good, Miles. Miles. All right. Oh, maybe he has to turn you on. That's right.
Okay.
There we go. I'm making him sweat. You're good now. You're good now. Yeah.
Cool.
So you win that fight, and I'm like, wow, this is great. Chase, great fight. I saw you at the scrum. Great personality. It was a lot of fun. And then all of a sudden, your Twitter just explodes because I remember the following week was the Athlete Summit.
Yeah.
And I know what's going on. People are giving me like little tidbits here and there, and you're just responding to like every time there's a tweet, something newsworthy, there you are with a GIF. I'm like, how does this guy have so much time to tweet? And I've seen this before where and kudos, you know, to the management team. Let's get our guy out there. Let's get him some pub. Let's be active on social media, all that stuff and more. And it continues and it continues. And then I start calling you out and it continues. And then it's the Photoshop stuff. And then it's like a tournament you're putting on, this Vanilla Gorilla. I'm like, there's no way that this guy is preparing for a fight and doing all this stuff on social media. And so I ask you, are you behind the Twitter?
Of course, man. Of course. Of course I'm running my Twitter. Yeah,
it's You're sticking to it.
Yeah, of course.
I asked you to show me a video. Send me a video of you sending a GIF.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and you didn't do it.
I know. I kept procrastinating. I was going to ask my roommate to do it for me. I'm the world's worst procrastinator, to be honest with you. It's just how I am. I was going to do it. Then the next thing you know, I'm flying out here. So I was just
oh, come on. That is
come on, man.
Yes.
All right, come on. You don't think I run my Twitter at all? I mean, come on.
You don't have a team of guys doing it for you?
I wish. That'd be nice. So I am always on my phone, though. I get shit for that all the time, yeah.
Okay, so I can attest to that because when I've texted you, you've responded within seconds. So that does sort of confirm that. Why the GIFs? Why so many GIFs?
They're hilarious, man. I just enjoy them. I'm texting GIFs now and stuff.
It's like you sent me a Brad Pitt one. I don't even know how to do that.
Man, it's easy. You just there's like a little button right there next to the left. It's like maybe like an A. Yeah, you click on that and there's your. Well, you have to download the app. I think Giphy. Giphy is the app.
I don't have that. I don't have that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, someone sent me after the fight.
Yeah.
Some GIFs of me because they made us do GIFs backstage.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I've seen that.
And I was like, "How did you do that?" And they were like, "Oh, it's this app called Giphy." And I was like, "Okay." So then I just started GIFing the shit out of everything.
Yeah. And how many prior to Dallas? How many followers did you have?
Like only 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you have 9.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to say it. You've times it by 8.
Yeah.
No, 9. You've times it by 9.
Since
in 2 months.
In 2 months, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, hopefully maybe by the end of the year we'll have 50. After this fight, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, you're prolific. So you're saying with a straight face, no one else does your tweeting?
No.
And what about the tournament? How do you have time to do that?
Man, it's just...
Come on.
I can't be giving away all my secrets.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Have you noticed an uptake in your popularity?
Yeah, social media is
now
key.
You've become like this cult following. You've had this cult following now since doing this, I feel like. People bothering me to have you on the show. Yeah. It's amazing.
There's 1,000, like 1,100 people that literally wanted me to kick that door in.
Yeah, I know. You kind of wish you did this earlier?
I didn't. We just went with the momentum of the fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, and obviously a big thing about it is after the retreat, Kobe came on and talked about marketing and things like that and building a brand. And with this Reebok deal, it's really hard for us to get sponsors. So the main way that we can market ourselves is through social media. You get a lot of followers and you get this and that through Instagram or Twitter or whatever the case may be. And that's how you're going to make your money. So that was a big key. That's something that's important to me, obviously, is reaching out to potential sponsors and just having your name out there and building a brand and building a market and having fans too is great, It's
a little soon. It's only 2 months ago, but have you noticed more people being interested in you or wanting to do business with you?
Yes.
Wow, this is amazing.
A lot more people want me to do interviews and things like that as well too. I'll have all the time to do them all, but it's been going well. A couple more sponsors have gotten involved, so it's going good. We're just gonna keep building off of that,
That's great.
We got this fight coming up, so hopefully get another nice little finish, and then we'll get more followers.
Yes. So it's interesting because I was reading a little bit about your story. You went into that fight, 2-fight losing streak in the UFC. You fully believed you lose that fight, you're out.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure for a young guy. I mean, you're just getting started. You're just getting your feet wet.
Yes.
You had the decision loss, knockout loss. Were you feeling the pressure? Were you super nervous for the fight?
Yeah, I definitely was, man. And it wasn't until right before the fight, when we were warming up in the back, then I was just like, my teammate Jason Knight was there.
Yeah.
And, I always kind of feed off of that. It's good to have your teammates there. He's just bouncing around and, he's got a good energy about him. He's just like, fuck it. So I was just like, fuck it too. I was like, you know what? If I'm meant to be here, I'm meant to be here. regardless, I'm about to go out there and put on a show. And so I was just a little bit more loose, you know. I wasn't as timid. I was just like kind of going with the flow a little bit and letting my hands and my kicks go and things of that nature. And I'm glad I got out of the way, because this fight I don't feel really any nerves at all, you know.
Really?
I'm coming out here to collect a paycheck and get another W, and that's it. You know, it's a business trip for me. So, you know, I'd like to get this win and then get on that Madison Square Garden card. That'd be great.
Wow, you already have your sights set on November 4th.
Yeah. Well, I'm not overlooking my opponent, obviously, you know, but, you know, just thinking ahead.
You mentioned in the scrum afterwards that you have one fight left, so this is the last fight in your contract, unless you signed a new one.
Yes, I did sign a new one.
Interesting. Why?
Yeah. Well, so they offered me a new contract. I was a 4-fight deal, but they offered me a new one after the 3rd fight.
Yeah.
They upped the pay a little bit. I guess because, you know, if I go in there and I get, you know, I'm 2-2 on a contract, they have to give me more money after the, you know what I mean? It's easier to negotiate for more money than if I'm 1-2. So, but at the same time, I wanted to take the money. There's for sure money in the new contract for sure.
So you didn't want to ride it out?
Yeah, exactly. Because if I go and lose the next fight for some reason, then I'm 1-3, then I'm probably not getting shit. I might not even get a new contract.
Okay. So you felt that pressure to just take what they were giving you. Do you feel, I mean, are you happy with it? Do you feel like
I feel good. I feel good. We got what we wanted out of there.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, and the good thing about it is we got the new contract. So we go take this fight. We go take another fight before the end of the year. Get a 3rd fight on that contract at the beginning of next year, and then boom, looking at another contract. We come off of a 4-fight win streak or 3 wins on this contract.
Yeah.
Then I feel like we can negotiate for a lot more money in the beginning of next year, you know, for a new contract.
So the new one is 4 fights as well?
Yes, that's correct. But if they offer me a new contract after 3 fights, then, you know. So I got this one, another one before the end of the year, and then maybe one in like February, March, something like that.
And you got the $50,000 bonus. What was your reaction when you found out that you were getting that? How big was that for you?
It was great, man. I really needed it. I needed it more. You know, just the winning the fight wasn't going to do enough for me.
What were you making? What was win and show?
10-10.
Okay, wow.
So, yeah, so I was just.
So you made 70.
Yes.
And why was it so important to win that bonus?
Just you know, I was getting hammered by my student loans. They kept calling me. You know, those were all past due.
Delta State.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fighting Okra.
What's up with that? They can't let you breathe for a second?
Man, it's ridiculous. You know what the bad thing is? Is like, have you gone to college and finished school?
Yes. Syracuse.
Man, it's like you finish and then you're paying off all these loans, $50,000 loans, and then they're calling you, you want to be a part of the alumni club? Like, it's only $200 a month. I'm like,
F you.
No. Like, I'm still paying, like, I'm broke.
Right.
Like, you sold me the college dream, and I am not using my degree at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's like.
How much debt are you in?
It's like. Student loans like $48,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
For the entire time you were there for what? 3 years?
I was in school I was at Delta State for 4 years.
Okay.
And then
but weren't you somewhere else first?
Yeah, I went to play JUCO ball.
Right.
And then I went to Delta State, to play football there. When I got done playing football there, I transferred to the University of Southern Mississippi. So I lost some credits and stuff like that. And I finished school in 6 years. So I got my bachelor's in 6 years.
Okay.
So I accumulated you know, that amount of loans, which isn't that much compared to most people, but, you know, a lot of it was just me taking out money for a living, you know what I mean, just for boarding and stuff, because my college was paid for when I was playing football. Right.
But so then you get the $50,000 check, and you said the debt was 48, so did you just pay it off?
No, I was talking to my coach about that, Alan. That's what I was thinking about doing, just putting a big chunk down, and he was like, you know, he said, I wouldn't do that specifically. You need to try to take that money, you know, pay some of it off, but reinvest it in a different avenue to try and generate another source of income. And so we've been talking about a few things, so, you know, maybe getting a timeshare or a condo down there, because I live on the coast.
Okay.
And
coast of Mississippi?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's really nice condos. There's some in Mississippi that are really nice, and there's some that are really nice in Florida, Alabama, which are only an hour or two away. So we were thinking about doing something like that, or even invest in like a house like in Albuquerque, because all these fighters are staying in these dorms.
Do you stay there?
I did this last time. I wasn't going to, but we had a mix-up with the rental car place and all this shit, and But I got hooked up with the nice dorm. It was like apartment style, so I had my own kitchen, own bathroom, washer and dryer, and all that.
No
stuff.
roommate?
Yeah, I had one roommate.
Who was it?
His name's Dustin Clements.
Okay.
He's an up-and-coming fighter. He fights for Titan.
Was it a nightmare?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, he's actually from Pensacola, so I met him a couple times when I was coming up through that circuit, and he was coming in town. And I told him, I said, man, just come stay in my room. You know, I got plenty of space, because a lot of these other fighters are staying in one single room with 5 or 6 people. They all share a kitchen. They all share a bathroom. They all, you know what I mean, like in the common quarters. And I kind of felt bad. I was like, you know, I have all this to myself. Come and stay in here. There's an extra couch.
How'd you get such a sweet setup? And the others?
I got lucky. I was talking to Misha, the guy that does all the stuff down there, and I was like, do you have any rooms left? And he was like, no, we don't have any rooms. And he looked up on the board. He said, yeah, there's actually one room left. And he said, it's where the Russians stay, but they were out of town.
Oh.
And it was the apartment style one. There's only like 2 apartment styles out of that whole facility. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. So it was nice, you know.
How does that work? You pay them rent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pay them rent. Then the coaches take, you know, 10% out of your purse, you know.
Okay, but so going back to the bonus and it meaning so much, I had read there was an article on you in Fighters Only magazine on the website, and you alluded to the fact that you were having some tough times at home, and that's why could you tell us more about that? What were you going through?
You know, it's just some family things going on back home. Nothing I don't want to put out there right now. It's nothing, you know, it's just some things I had to take care of with dealing with my family, with my son and stuff like that.
Okay. You have, what, an 8-month-old or something?
He is 8 months old. He'll be 9 months this week.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
He's a big boy, yeah.
What's his name?
Liam Cole. Yeah, he is, he's wearing like 18-month-old clothes right now, man. He's a big boy, yeah.
Maybe football is in his future?
Hopefully.
So, okay, so is that your first child?
Yes.
Your dad, first time, so part of that means expenses and things like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was big.
Yeah, exactly.
50,000, I mean 70,000.
Yes, yes. So, and you know, too, I'm living in like a income-based apartment right now, so obviously trying to get out of there.
Okay.
And get my own house and just kind of, you know, do things like that. You know, just was nice to get that money.
Oh, you did it?
Oh, no, I haven't yet. But when I get back home, that's something I'm going to work on. You know, that's something I was going to try to work on this summer. But they called me for a fight.
You didn't really want to fight, right?
No, not really. I was like, I'm going to take the summer off and enjoy the money and kind of get some things taken care of that I need to get taken care of. And then they called me with the fight. I was like, well, I said, this is a good fight for me, so I said, might as well get paid.
Yeah.
Instead of spend all that money, you know, making.
When did you get the call? Like a month ago or so?
Yeah, about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
6 weeks ago. Yeah.
And you were kind of on the fence? You looked up Grabowski and you were like, I could take this guy.
Yeah, pretty much. I was out at the island that day. We were all on the boat, and we were drinking some beer. And my coach was with me, and I was like, hey, my manager said he's got me another fight. And he was like, who is it? I told him it was Damian Grabowski. He was like, oh, he beat the shit out of that guy. And I was like, you don't even know who he is. Like, my coach always says that. He's like, yeah, you can take him. I was like, okay, well, that's good. So I watched some film on him later that night, and we decided to take the fight. So
all of a sudden, it works that way in the UFC sometimes. Like, they get excited about you, and then they'll have you come back really quickly. You know what I mean? As opposed to, like, you'll lose a fight or maybe not have the best performance, and then they'll kind of keep you on the fence for, you know, on the sidelines, I should say, for quite some time.
I've been pretty busy, though, man. I've had my first fight in August. This is my 4th fight since August. So.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 fights in, what, 10 months or 11 months?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're not married?
No.
Okay. Are you going to get married?
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. But not to the mother of your child?
No.
Okay, so that is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
They picking around and getting me answer questions.
It is. I mean, you dropped that in the article, and then I was like, well, why did they follow up? You know what I mean? Like you dropped this thing, and to me, like, that's when my radar goes off. I mean, I'm very inquisitive. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sometimes I pry.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I was just surprised that they wouldn't. You know, like, you can't just drop that vaguely and not have some sort of follow up.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right,
I understand.
But you also mentioned that you only had $100 in your bank account.
Yeah.
How recently was that?
That was right before the fight. That was the week before the fight.
The Rashad Coulter fight? Mm-hmm. You had $100.
Yeah, about $115.
You're kidding.
Well, until the UFC gave me my stipend when I got here, but that was it.
You mean in Dallas?
Yeah, when I got to Dallas, until they gave me the stipend.
What's the stipend?
They give you $600 for the week.
For the week,
yeah.
to do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, for food,
right.
Ubers, and stuff like that. And
so flying out from, where'd you go, Mississippi to Dallas?
Albuquerque to Dallas.
Albuquerque to Dallas. You had $115 to your name.
Yeah.
Wow. Were you sweating?
Man, I don't know, man. I felt good about that fight. I just, I felt like
you needed that money to survive.
Yeah. There was no...
what were you doing?
There's no...
Like, how were you paying for food and things like that?
That's the credit card. My credit card bill racked up to a couple $1,000s. I had some people back home that were helping out with camp and stuff like that. They would send me a couple $100 a week for camp and things of that nature.
Wow. Has it ever gone that low in your bank account before?
Oh, yeah. Before I even signed with the UFC, man, I was just, I didn't have a real job. I was just training, I was staying in like a little shed out behind somebody's, like they had like they turned their shed into like a little guest house.
Okay, a shed.
Yeah, it was a shed. It was a garage. It got turned out into a guest house.
Bathroom?
Yeah, it had a bathroom.
Okay, all right.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't have to dig a hole or anything like that, so it was good. Yeah.
Whose house?
So this kid I was working with, like, he trained at the gym, this younger guy.
Okay.
I was helping him doing his strength and conditioning and things like that, and his parents let me live there while I trained him. So, that's what I was doing.
So he wasn't a fighter?
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was?
But yeah, he is. He's an amateur fighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long did you live there for?
I lived there for several months, and then I had my little boy.
Okay.
And then we moved into a house.
Who's we?
Me and his mom.
Okay.
And her mom bought the house, and we just paid rent on it and stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah. And then I had to move out, and then I had to go like to an apartment and stuff like that. So, but yeah, there's been times, man, where I've been struggling, especially when I was in school. Because it was hard, to have a real job, to go to school, 20 hours, 15 hours a semester, and train too.
Yeah.
But I was all part of the process,
Sure.
I was 5 years ago I first started, and then now we're here. So just trusting the process and kept working,
What was your job in school?
I had a couple different ones. Security at the casinos.
Okay.
In the summertime, I did like, there was like summer camps for kids and stuff like that. So I was like a counselor.
Sure.
My parents used to own a dog grooming shop, boarding facility, so I would have to wake up and go clean up shit there.
Oh, man.
I did all the stuff that they didn't want to do.
Yeah.
But just, making ends meet, Yeah, man, I was driving my grandma's car. It was like a beat-up Oldsmobile Cutlass. The windows didn't roll up or down. Yeah, so it was pretty rough for a while, but I just kept to it, and I was like, I don't want to work at it behind a desk, But that's a lot of fighters' stories, man. That's just how they come up.
Sure. It's fascinating for me in this particular sense because, usually the people that we have on the show, especially in studio, are like champions and the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
It's rare that we'll have, just because there's only so many stories that we can tell on a weekly show. If we were daily, it'd be much different. Rare to have someone sort of on the ascent who is, fighting, prelims, things like that in your story. So this is, it's a revelation, really, because I think sometimes we forget as media, as fans, what you guys go through to make ends meet and why you show the emotion that you do, why you fight with the kind of determination and heart that you do. I mean, you were, in some respects, you lose that fight, you walk away with 10,000, that extra 60. Have you ever received like a check for that much money in one day?
Oh, God, no.
That's life-altering stuff.
Yeah, it is. And I'm blessed, man. It was a great opportunity. I couldn't ask for more, I hope now I want another one. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. It's like a drug, right?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But I'm not gonna put the fight in jeopardy.
Sure, of course.
So get the win first, and then we'll go from there.
So you played college football at Delta State.
Yeah.
But you had no martial arts background.
None.
What position were you?
I was an offensive lineman.
And how good were you?
I was all conference, man.
Okay, what conference?
It was the GSC. So it's pretty much like the SEC of Division II.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to the national championship my junior year, and then My senior year went to semifinals, won 2 conference championships. So
because they do playoffs there, right?
Exactly.
I never understood why they do playoffs. I know now they do playoffs in D1, but for the longest time, playoffs in D2 and D3. Why did they figure it out? And too much money involved?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess because you have all those people that are sponsoring like the playoff games and the bowl games and stuff like that. It's a weird situation. But I enjoyed the playoffs. So,
playoffs is best. Yeah.
When you come from a tough conference like that, my junior year we weren't even ranked in the nation at all.
Wow.
We went to playoffs and went all the way to the national championship, and we lost to the #1 team in the nation by 3 points. As the time expired, they kicked the field goal. But yeah, playoffs is where it's at because you see a lot of these bigger schools in these tougher conferences like the SEC and things of that like that, and a lot of those guys, if there was a playoff system and a bigger playoff system, that would be in the championship.
Were you close to making it to the NFL?
No, man. You know what? I was like 6'4", 290 when I was playing.
Okay.
And that's tiny compared to those NFL offensive linemen. Those guys are like 6'6", 320, can move. And I had some offers to play arena ball and stuff like that. It was still pro ball, but I wasn't gonna go beat up my body for $500 a week.
That's what it is?
Yeah, it's like $500 a week. Yeah.
You have to have another job?
Yeah. I was like,
what about CFL?
I got some looks into CFL, but nothing ever came through. Those guys are still pretty good up there too. But I mean, John's brother Chandler was at the gym this past week when I was there, and that dude is those are the type of people I would have had to block.
Yeah.
That dude is like a freaking animal.
Yeah, he is a beast. Arizona Cardinals now, right?
Yeah, he's an animal.
Was he training with you guys?
Yeah, he was hitting the bag, man. He did a little sparring and stuff. I didn't get to spar with him because I was trying to keep it light and technical, like
you don't want some amateur there coming.
Yeah, just taking my head off. Yeah. It's freaking. But yeah, he was hitting the bag and things like that, and I was like, dude, I would not want to be underneath that guy.
I want to ask you about John in a second, but going back to the journey. So you leave college, you graduate, football career is over. You have no martial arts background. How do you get introduced to MMA?
Man, so my friend Tyler Hill and Jay Metters. This was up in Delta State. Tyler still fights to this day. He's a pro. I think he's like 8-1 or something. He's fought for Bellator. But yeah, 5 years ago, I got done playing football, and I always had a passion for it. I always wanted to do it.
Do what? Martial arts?
Yes.
Okay.
Fight, yeah. So I grew up fighting, man. That's just how it was down there in the South. We
fight on the streets.
Yeah, or in the parking lot, or down on the. You know what I mean? That's just how it was. Oh, drop my mic.
No problem. How many fights do you think you got? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I never was the type to ever start a fight, but if your friends were fighting, then you were all fighting.
Okay.
I was typically the guy that was just standing there and then normally got blindsided because they always want to take out the biggest guy.
Did you ever get seriously hurt?
No, I have got hit. One time, though, I was trying to break up a fight, and I got smacked inside of the back of the head with this big old wooden post.
Oh, my gosh.
And at the time, that was the closest I'd ever been being knocked out. I was like, whoa. But, yeah, so that's just how it was back then, when we were in high school and stuff, we grew up fighting. You didn't know if you were fighting. If someone wanted to fight you, they'd be waiting out in the parking lot or whatever. And I'm not going to lie, me and all my friends, we enjoyed getting into it.
You did?
Yeah, it was just part of it.
That's what you did on a Saturday night in Iberville?
D'Iberville.
D'Iberville, yeah. D'Iberville.
Yeah, it's like a French name or something. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of it. A lot of times, yeah, that's how we grew up. But so back to it. Finished playing football, and I was like, I don't want to get a normal desk job. I don't want to, because I want to be significant. I want to do something with my life other than just being a coach, because that's what I was going to school for, was coaching.
Sure.
And it was me and those 2 other guys, and it was like this little shed out in the middle of North Mississippi. This guy let us use his shed to train there. We had a couple of mats and a couple of bags, and we would just go in there and get to work. And, I moved back home after I played football and started training with Alan. Started really training, and then like after 2 months, I had my first fight as an amateur.
How'd that go?
It went good. My coach actually told me I was going over there to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he told me I was fighting a guy like 2-3 or something. He's like, oh yeah, I set you up for this fight. I was like, okay, cool. On the way over there, get a phone call from my buddy Rodney, the guy that's gonna be cornering me. He cornered me for that fight too. And he's like, yeah, the guy you're fighting is he's like 6-0, and he's a light heavyweight champ over there, and he trains out of Rich Clementi's gym. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's awesome. And he's a southpaw.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, cool. I'm not prepared for this at all. I've been training for 2 months, you know what I mean?
But you took it?
Yeah, I was already in Baton Rouge. I had to take it.
Yeah.
It was this little high school gym, man, and the cage was no bigger than this room, I swear to you. And it was me and that guy and the ref, and the bell rang, and the first time I got hit was just a straight left right to the throat, and I was like, okay,
wow,
this is the real deal. But so I was a little bit bigger than him. I had a couple pounds on him, and I just grabbed him in the clinch, just kept kneeing him. And he fell in the second round, and I got the rear naked choke.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first fight, and they gave me Fighter of the Night.
Wow.
Gave me a little $500 check. I took it back to my mom because my parents didn't know I was fighting. I kept it hid from them. You know what I mean? They didn't know. I went over there and I put the check on the table because they thought it was stupid that I was even training.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've been to every fight since then.
Really?
Yeah.
Even Dallas?
Yeah.
Wow. So you went home, you showed them the check, and you said, "Look, this is what I'm getting for this."
Yeah, I was just like, I said, is it stupid now? You know what I mean? Like,
But then they found out that you were fighting, and you didn't tell them.
Yeah.
Were they pissed?
No, they weren't pissed.
They weren't?
They weren't that pissed. No.
Okay.
But they thought it was stupid. Like, my dad was like, this is stupid,
Yeah.
You need to get your ass in school and finish school.
Get a real job.
Yeah, exactly. But
And was that amateur or pro?
Amateur.
Okay.
Amateur, yeah.
How many amateur fights did you have?
I had 8. I went 7-1.
Why'd you do so many amateur fights?
Well, I thought they told us in the state of Mississippi I'd have like 7 wins.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow,
so
I didn't know that.
I fought the toughest guys I could fight.
You weren't getting paid for those?
No.
Except for these like bonuses. How many times did you actually get a bonus like that?
Just that once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just that once. They don't ever, I guess different promotions do different things.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't pay their amateurs, but
so
they
8
did.
fights, and then how long did that take?
Well, let's see. I've been fighting for 5 years. So I think I've 2 years.
Okay. Wow. So for 2 years, how were you making money? How were you living?
Just out in jobs and stuff and going to school.
Okay.
That was it.
And then you must have been anxious to turn pro so that you can finally...
Yeah, make a little bit more money. Yeah.
First fight, how much did you get for that?
I think I made 300 and 300.
Wow,
yeah, that was in Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, so would you have like 9 or so fights before getting that call in the UFC?
My last fight was with Titan, I think. I fought Jack May. He was a UFC vet.
That's right.
That dude was freaking huge.
Was he?
Yeah. I was kind of nervous, I'm not going to lie, because I went to California like 2 years before that. I was Sokaju.
Yeah.
Had asked me to come out there to be a sparring partner. We were at, whose gym was it that's in Orange County? He used to be UFC.
Babalu?
No. I can't think of his name right now. Anyways, we're at his gym. Michael Bisping used to train there too. Munoz.
Mark Munoz.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, that was a great gym at one point. I mean, everyone was there.
Yeah, so I was out there, and Jack was there. Man, and he just got done with his first UFC fight to Derek Lewis.
Yes.
I guess he was angry or whatever, but he beat the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah, like Mark came in and told him to chill the fuck out.
Really?
Yeah, like he...
Damn, like he crossed the line?
Like he teeped me, and I fell down. I was like catching my breath, like about to puke, and I was like, all right, and I shook it off, and I got back up and touched gloves with him. Next thing you know, he teeped me again right in the stomach. It's like, damn, dude. Like, I was like, you're a dickhead.
Wow.
But then I fought him, and he threw a kick, and I checked it, and he broke his leg, so whatever.
So when you took that fight, you must have been super amped for that, right? Sticking to that guy?
Yeah, man, I was nervous, too, because I knew that was my big break. That was the point that I needed. My managers kept telling me I needed to win that fight to get in the UFC. I just needed a name.
Right.
Build the record, get a name, get in. That's how it goes.
And then how soon after the win over May did you get the call?
A couple months.
Okay. What was that like?
Man, it was awesome. I always love telling this story.
Please.
I was in California every year I go to California to see my buddies that I played football with in college.
Okay.
And it was actually his wedding. So all of us, all the guys from all over the country that we played offensive line with, they were in town, you know what I mean? And we hadn't seen each other in a while, all of us being together since football. And we were sitting around playing video games and stuff like that, and then Abe calls me.
Abe Kawa.
Yeah, Abe called me, and I was like, damn, Abe never calls me. It's usually like Matt or somebody. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. Abe called me, he was like, Chase. I was like, what's up, Abe? And he said, He said, didn't I tell you that if you won that fight, you get in the UFC? I was like, yes, you did. He was like, how do you feel about fighting Justin Ledet in August? I was like, fuck. So I got up, I threw the controller down, I was running around the room screaming, and my friends were like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then I told him, man, it was awesome. I would rather have been there than at home, you know what I mean?
Because you were with your buddies.
Yeah, exactly. And those guys haven't missed a fight either since, you know.
Really?
Yeah, this will be the first one they've missed.
Why?
Just because, you know, financially, just getting all the way out to New York and stuff. Like, a lot of the other ones were closer to California and stuff.
Right.
All of them, they've all been there, to every one of them. And, man, it was awesome. But,
being with your boys, I mean, how did you, like, you get that call? Did you guys go crazy? Did you celebrate?
Oh, yeah, we celebrated. We celebrated at the wedding, and then we celebrated the 4th of July.
That's right.
I probably celebrated too much, knowing that I had a fight coming up.
And then you lose your debut.
Yeah.
Devastating?
Man, it was not devastating. It was just more or less a learning experience, you know. I stayed at home and trained.
Okay.
I was kind of ignorant. I was like, oh, well, watch this guy's film. He's a striker. I said, I'm a striker, you know, I'll be all right. Stayed at home and trained. And I went out there and got my ass handed to me, and I was just like, you know, this is a different level. I need something else, you know. And that's when I got to hook up to Jackson Weeks.
Okay. So what do? You just call them up?
Abe set it all up. He's, you know,
yeah.
They got a lot of fighters out there. And
that's right.
Yeah.
And so did you feel comfortable right away?
Man, I was nervous right away, you know. I
Why?
was getting my butt whipped out there and
every
day, and the elevation, dealing with all that. But now, it's like I'm handing out a lot of ass whippings at the gym now, you know.
You are.
I mean? So it's just progressively getting better, you know.
You work with Brandon Gibson too?
No, man, I keep asking to work with him, and, you know, he's like a famous pad holder, and it only works with, like, the big guys.
Damn, Brandon's like that?
And he's always busy.
Brandon
Every
was the
time I go
humble
to... No, he's awesome. I love Brandon. Every time I go there, like, Brandon, you gonna let me hit some pads? He's like, man, I'm busy, you know. I got to take care of, like, Cowboy and John and all these other cats. And
wow.
I was like, all
I
right,
thought he was the man of the people, the man of the fighters.
He is, man. He's just so busy. And
he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome. I tell him, I said, man, one day you're going to be begging to hold
That's
pads
right.
for
That's
me.
right. That's right.
But no, it's mostly Coach Wink, and he's awesome. They're just two different styles. You know, Brandon's a little bit more flowy, so get your hands going and stuff like that and work your defense a little bit more. And Coach Wink works with the stuff that you're going to actually use in a fight.
Okay.
You know, like, because you're not throwing 4 or 5 punch combos in a fight.
Right.
You're going to throw the 1s and 2s and kicks, and you know what I mean? That's how it's going to work. And Wink is just, he's good at that. He's good at wearing your ass out, too.
And you work with Greg as well, Greg Jackson.
Coach Jackson is like the game planner, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Sit down, beginning of camp, we watch film together. He says, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, and then I work on that the whole camp. You know?
Okay, but not with him
much.
Specifically.
No, he's gone so much, man.
Yeah.
I hardly see him working with any of the fighters right now because he's just gone all the time.
Right.
He does his jiu-jitsu class, his grappling class, like once a week.
Okay.
But,
and how does it work as far as like your schedule? Do you just make the schedule, or do you have someone who's kind of like acting as your head coach who's assigned to you? Like, do you say, okay, this is the schedule for the day, I'm going to go to this class, this class, this class, or is there someone kind of holding your hand throughout the entire camp?
No, you do what you need to do. The coaches aren't going to do that. I mean, they'll give you shit if you don't go to class. But,
okay.
So basically what it's set up like is 9:30 is the 170ers and up, and that's Monday through Friday, and that's mostly live stuff. So Monday is like MMA sparring with small gloves. Tuesday's big gloves. Wednesday's back to, actually Wednesday's like a hard wrestling day, nothing but wrestling.
Okay.
Thursday's MMA sparring with little gloves again. And then Friday's MMA wrestling, drilling.
Okay.
Drilling. And so those are the main classes that you want to go to. And then the night classes, they have like the, you know, striking class, the jiu-jitsu grappling class, which is one of the most ones I did was the grappling at night because it's more live training. And then Saturday would be, I would go run 5 miles up in the foothills.
Damn.
So yeah, that was tough,
right?
Yeah,
Elevation.
it was just like here, man. It's just like, I've never even ran 5 miles on flat ground at sea level. And Coach Bart was like, he's like, you're gonna run these 5 miles, you know? And I was like, okay, he's like this little crazy Mexican guy, wrestler. And I was like, okay, Coach. And damn sure I did it though. It took me like an hour, but I did it, didn't stop moving.
Well done.
And but yeah, it was like 8,000 feet up, another 3,000 on top of the already 5,500 that we're at.
It's brutal.
And yeah, it was miserable. But that's what I did every Saturday. And in between those like in between the morning and the night classes, I would do like Tuesday, Thursday, I'd hit pads with week.
Okay.
And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would do my strength and conditioning. So you're pretty much training 3 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of you and John Jones. You sparred him, right?
Me and John sparred majority. I was like his main sparring partner when I was there, yeah.
What's that like?
Great, man. John is, he's so good at like taking care of you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we take care of each other, you know, and we don't, you know.
He's not trying to hurt you.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You break all your toys, you don't have nothing to play with.
That's true.
They told me like over him, they were telling me horror stories about that guy when he's up there. They're like, yeah, he just breaking people's noses and legs and stuff. And I was like, well, don't expect me to spar him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta fight, you know.
Right. That's right. What's the point?
So yeah, you know, if you beat up all your sparring partners like Mike Tyson, just nobody wanted that job.
That's right.
So, but me and John, we mesh well together, and we take care of each other, and it's built a lot of confidence for me, man.
Yeah,
just working with him.
I can't imagine.
Yeah,
I mean the greatest of all time in many people's eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, before when I first got there, he would just really get the better of me, obviously. But as time progressed, you know, I started figuring out a little bit more, and it was pretty even on the feet, you know.
So the big, like the big thing about John is we kind of just want to see who he is, right? When he fights, he's been gone for so long. He didn't look great when he fought Ovince St. Preux. He had the long layoff. What's it been like? Like he's preparing for the biggest fight of his life. He's trying to become champion again. Yeah. We saw that promo. He's like super fired up. I mean, it's amazing. You're there. Like you're there. So what's that like?
It's
like
great,
just being
man.
around
His
him.
mind is in a positive place. He never, you know, he never is, you know, down and out or anything, even though, you know, everything that just happened with him, with his mom and stuff in the middle of camp. And he just is a workhorse, and he comes there to work, and he's always got positive vibes. And his boxing, he's been working a lot more on his boxing. His boxing's gotten real good. His jab's gotten really, really good. And his jiu-jitsu has gotten really good. Like,
really?
I don't like even messing with him in jiu-jitsu class. It's just ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, man. He is, well, you know, when he was on that layoff, all he was doing was jiu-jitsu.
That's right, yeah.
All he was doing was jiu-jitsu and getting ready for that Dan Henderson grappling match, man. He got really good at it.
Wow.
Like, his wrestling was on point.
Sure.
Obviously. His striking's always been on point. But now he just added that to the game. And, you know, Daniel better be careful if he does get a takedown, because John's jiu-jitsu is
so that's legit. A whole new wrinkle to this fight that maybe he didn't have 2 years ago. I mean, he submitted the likes of Machida and Vitor Belfort, but this is, I mean, I actually didn't think of that. I mean, Cormier wants to take the fight at the ground, but now, as you say, he's improved so much as far as his grappling. That's interesting.
Yeah, his jiu-jitsu is really
So when you spar, are there takedowns involved, or is it just striking sparring?
Well, John does what he wants. So a couple of times he, you know, it's supposed to be only stand-up only, and a couple of times he decided to take me down. I wasn't prepared for it, but yeah, so it's both, you know, with him especially. He's going to work what he wants to work and do what he wants to do, you know, when that comes to that. But like I said, we always take care of each other, and the good thing when we get done is give good feedback, and you know, and that's what's important. You know what I mean?
Wow.
He'll tell me, you know, well, this is what you know I saw when I was sparring you, and I'll tell him, oh, this is what I saw, and you know, and he'll tell me what's working good for me, and same.
How often do you spar him a week?
Well, when he's there, and you know, probably 2, 3 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an experience for someone like you. I mean, coming from Mississippi to spar with someone like John Jones. Will you go to his fight?
I want to, man, because Jason's fighting on that same card.
Right.
Jason is.
That's right. Big fight for him against Ricardo Lamas.
Yeah, man. I wanted to, but I need to get back home and take care of those things I was telling you about. Yeah.
You don't want to tell us about them, though.
Yeah. Well, just trying to play it smart, you know.
Sure, I understand.
And
you're not in trouble, are you?
No.
Okay, just personal stuff.
Yeah, you know, just dealing with my son and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to do all that, and you know, I've been gone already, so I'm going to go to the fight and, you know, then fly right back out immediately. I'm just ready to get home a little bit, watch it with everybody from back home, you know. I wanted to go, but yeah.
How long have you been away from your son for now, since you were in Albuquerque?
This is week 4.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was it hard?
Yeah, it was hard. It's hard, man.
You said goodbye on Father's Day or around that time.
Yeah, I got to go see him on Father's Day and stuff.
That's great, your first.
Yeah, it was my first one. He was sick, unfortunately. He had a little stuffy nose, but he's doing good, man. He's a big boy. He's a happy baby.
Does it change the way you fight? Do you feel like you're a different person? Different mindset.
Yeah, for sure, man, because you got a little bit more pressure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to take care of your kids. You got to
Sure.
take care of your family. It's just a little bit more fire underneath your ass, mostly when you get tired, though.
Right.
That's the only, you know, it doesn't.
Motivation.
Yeah. I still got to fight smooth and not fight angry and, you know what I mean, be smart about what I do. You know, I can't just go out there and be like, I got to beat this guy's ass for my son, you know what I mean?
But if your son's 8 months old and you were preparing for the Coulter fight and now you're preparing for this, I mean, half his life probably you were away for thus far because you were in training camp, right?
Yeah, and when I was getting ready for the Walt Harris fight in January too.
You had already been born.
Yes, yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So that was in January, the Walt Harris fight. So I was gone for his first Thanksgiving, and I was gone for 5 weeks. Then came home, we did Christmas together and stuff, and then I had the fight, and then I got the call for Rashad fight, and then I got the call for this fight. So it's been tough, man, but you know, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to pay the bills.
You're racking in that dough.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
And so now, 10-10 for that one. What are you getting for this one?
16-16.
All right.
New contract.
Okay.
So instead of bumping it up only, if I would have been on the same contract, it would have been 12-12.
Okay.
But now it's 16-16.
Could have done 20-20. If I'm going to talk to Abe about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
really?
talked to Abe, but
Yeah.
I said that. But, you know, I don't have much leverage. I just won one fight, you know.
Fight of the night.
Yeah, that's true.
On the best card of the year up until that point.
Yeah,
It was a major feather in your cap.
It was.
Who's puffing your chest out? Do I need to do all the work for you? Come on.
But hey, you know, like I said, we get 3 more in a row. That'll be
right.
4 in a row. Look at a new contract. Maybe we look at something like, you know, 80-80 or something like, you know, a little more than that, you know?
Yeah. I joke about the tweets, obviously. And if I'm being honest, I still don't believe that you're 100% behind it. But I will say this. There's clearly a method to the madness because let's be honest, no tweets, no back and forth. You're probably not sitting here on the show,
Probably
right?
not.
People aren't emotionally invested. Like, I feel like now you have this legion of fans who are pulling for you. So whoever was behind it, if it was you, kudos, because people care about you now. You got to do, and I think you put it perfectly. In this day and age with the Reebok deal, with everyone kind of looking the same, and there's so many events, it's hard to break out and to promote, you know, the 8th fight on the card, right? That's where I think you are right now.
Yeah.
You got to do it yourself. You can't wait for the UFC to do it for you, right? You got to do it yourself, and you've done a phenomenal job. Every time there's some kind of like newsworthy tweet, UFC, there you are right there with like the popcorn gif or something. I don't know how you do it, but you're like, boom. I don't know if you get like notifications on your phone, but you are like, you are prolific,
Man,
omnipresent.
you got to do what you got to do.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it.
You must be spending a lot of time on your phone.
Dude, it's really hard for me not to be on it right now.
Yeah.
I know.
You know how
we can do a live tweet.
What do you mean a live tweet?
You take a picture.
Yes, let's do it. I want to see you do a GIF right now.
Do a GIF right now?
Yeah. Do something.
Okay, let me see.
All right, here we go. Here it is. This is what everyone was asking me.
All right.
Okay, so you tweet your last tweet. I wanted to know if anyone was tweeting while you were on. Your last tweet was before. Okay, 2:51 Eastern. All right, so this is it. This is the moment of truth. Chase Sherman, the Vanilla Gorilla. You told me already that was a friend of yours that just kind of came up with that name, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a great nickname.
It is, man. I miss that guy. I haven't seen him in a while. He like moved off into the country. He's farming somewhere. I don't know what he's doing.
You don't even have one of those batteries, like the extra battery pack on your phone. You tweet so much, your phone must die.
How do you get that?
What do you mean? Go to get an Amazon.
I thought I was fancy. Dude, I just got an
nice
iPhone
one.
7.
Oh, wow.
I just got one. I was like,
nice
because a lot of times it was just, my other phone was freezing up, and I said, I can't be tweet worthy without
That's right.
a
Well, you
phone.
need to get one of those battery packs on your phone.
My friend just texted me and said, you look fat.
Oh, wow. What a nice friend. Is this the guy cornering you?
Yeah, it is. He's just a piece of shit.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We're going to tweet something. What are we tweeting? I want to see the way the mind works.
Okay.
This is like watching Picasso in action. This is Beethoven in front of us, Mozart. the king of gifts, the gift king himself, tweeting. By the way, for the record, I've yet to see the actual Twitter on his phone. He's being a little...
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. You said something. Can you say it out loud? What are you tweeting? What are you saying?
I'm just saying here live tweeting at the MMA Hour.
Yeah, there we go. And can we get a gift there?
Yeah, man. Damn. Making me nervous.
Nervous? In front of thousands
Can
of
you just
people.
give me a second?
All right. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
It's a lot of pressure.
You're like my girl. You just freaking just all over my like, what are you doing over there? What's your phone?
Which girl are we talking about here?
Let's see.
All right. I'm sure you get a lot of phone calls these days, right? Everyone wants to be friends with you now that you won in the UFC Fight of the Night.
Man, it's a little different, you know?
Yeah.
It is.
A lot of Johnny come latelys.
Yeah, definitely.
Or Jenny come latelys.
Yeah.
They all want a piece. Like me. Having you on the show. Can't wait to see this tweet. Am I going to see it in real time?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Chase Sherman, UFC. He tweeted earlier, new shirt, $85. New door to studio, $250. Having the vanilla gorilla on the MMA Hour priceless. You're so witty with the tweets. It's too bad that you're not fighting in that era a couple of years ago when the UFC was actually giving people bonuses for tweets. Do you remember that?
They were?
About that? Yes. I actually made a joke about that. It was like 3-4 years ago, the UFC was actually every quarter determining who had the most entertaining tweets. The whole concept went off the rails when people were just trying to one-up each other. But they were actually giving bonuses based on tweets. You'd be killing it.
Man.
You'd be racking the dough. Did you tweet?
Yeah, it's sending, man. I got this little...
what do you got? It's always an excuse with you.
C-Spire.
What's that?
C-Spire, exactly. It's like a little regional cell phone company.
You're kidding me.
Hey, man, it's like $85.
C-Spire?
It's like $70.
Oh, here we go.
It's like $70 for unlimited everything.
Okay, you screwed up the hashtag, but we won't hold you to it.
Oh.
There it is.
Made me nervous, man. See?
There it is. There's a The MMA Hour. I see you just went MMA Hour. See right there? Look, the... See that? What do you think of my new studio, by the way?
Dude, this is nice. This is really nice. I like it.
This is, I mean...
That's a very homey... I'm going to end up breaking this damn thing.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's a very homey feeling. You
right.
know?
It's kind of like my basement / the Tonight Show of MMA. That's the kind of look I was going for.
I like it.
Maybe one day we'll have you up there.
Maybe.
You and Rashad. Poor Rashad got fired from his job, you know, has 2 kids, single father, and you took that win bonus away from him.
Man, he's a nice guy, but
he is a really nice guy.
Better him than me. He got the bonus too.
He did get the bonus.
I said that
the win bonus.
I know, but I said that in the interview. I said I hope he gets the bonus because we was looking at either finish of the night or fight of the night.
You must have been sweating. You must have been sweating, right? Oh, do we have the tweet? Where's the tweet? I think we'll put it up there. There it is for those who missed it.
There it is.
Live tweeting. Here live tweeting now at Ariel Helwani, MMA Hour. And you went with Prince Harry. You know that's Prince. Whoa, there's Rashad Coulter knocked out. What did you type in to find that particular GIF? How does the mind work? Did you just type in boom?
Boom.
Okay.
As in like, told you so.
Yeah, of course. Were you sweating that whole night, UFC 211?
What do you mean?
Well, because your fight was like early, and so you're like, oh, is someone going to top me?
Man, I knew I was up for 2 bonuses, possibly, so I was like...
You only got 1, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that would have been nuts.
I know, that's what I said. And then Stipe had to go finish his guy in like 2 seconds.
But you must have been watching, like you were so close, right? I mean, okay, one fight goes on, and there was pretty good fights.
And I heard that the Poirier-Alvarez fight was a banger, too, until that happened. So
you didn't watch it?
Yeah, I was watching some. Man, they had me in the back doing all these gifts and pictures and stuff. And, you know, I was eating in the the break room and stuff, you know. Yeah, I was actually watching that fight, though. But then after a while, I was like...
And then you got it. Who told you that you got it?
Jason texted me and told me. Yeah, Jason was the first one.
Well done.
Yeah. You excited about that fight with him?
I am, yeah. It's a huge fight.
It's great.
Important fight for him. He's looked great as of late. I like what he does on the mic. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You should bring him in here.
I will.
Just make sure you get
subtitles
underneath it.
So how's the Long Island Marriott? Is it nice?
It's not bad, man. It's right across the street from
the arena. Yeah. That's a classic arena, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the Nassau Coliseum where the New York Islanders won many a Stanley Cup. They just renovated the whole thing. They gutted the inside. First UFC event, of course. Tons of Long Island fighters, as you know, going to be on the card. So I'm excited. Plus, I don't have to fly there. It's just a hour drive from here. So this is exciting. Nice. And is there anyone there yet? Or are you you're probably like the first one?
Yeah, I was the first. Dude, it was like...
Was it boring?
Yeah, I was bored.
Yeah.
I asked my coach, the one that's from here, I was like, where's some good places to eat? You know?
Yeah.
I went and got some pizza last night.
How was it?
It was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
Did you have to cut weight?
No.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I have about 15 pounds to spare, so...
Well done.
But
don't go too crazy.
No, I still want to be the best looking heavyweight out there.
Sure, although your friend just said you're fat.
Yeah, that's
or at
true.
least you look fat.
He's a piece of shit. He's just the worst human being ever.
And then so tomorrow, that's when you check in and then it's like a normal fight week. That's when you were originally supposed to come.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Hey, this man, thanks for having me, dude. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it, dude.
Did we settle the beef?
Yeah, I think the beef squash.
Yeah. Who makes those pictures like when you doing the rock thing on? Who does that?
The what?
When you did the rock, like the people's elbow, like you put my face.
Oh, it's an app called GIF.
You're actually doing this.
Yeah. Download it on your phone, man.
GIF.
All
right.
Like GIF as in peanut butter GIF.
Yeah. GIF.
Yeah.
By the way, is it GIF or is it GIF? Like the actual things that you're doing, not the app.
Yeah, I think it's GIF.
People say GIF, but now some people are saying it's called GIF.
Yeah, they said that, but then I seen a thing where they corrected it because the acronym for it, the first word starts with a G.
G, you would think. I mean, it doesn't really make sense.
G, yeah.
All right.
People are just trying to outsmart other people.
They are. It's a little too much. Yeah. But you're doing it. You're killing it. You're very active, and I support it.
I appreciate it.
Just for the record.
Now we're going to go get this win Saturday.
Let's do it. Damian Grabowski this Saturday. It's on Fox, by the way. It's prelims, but it's on Big Fox.
That's right.
That's big for you.
That's huge for me.
Let's do it. And then I'll see you in the back, the scrum. They haven't kicked me out of there yet, so I'm still good to talk to you. Sweet. We're all good. Yeah. I appreciate it, Chase. Thank you so much. Take care. All the best to you. Good luck, and I'll see you on Saturday. Actually, I'll see you on Friday at the weigh-ins. Oh, yeah. Give me a wink when you weigh in, all right?
All right, I will.
All right. Thank you very much. There he goes, the Vanilla Gorilla himself, Chase Sherman. Great stuff from him, and there you have it. We have confirmed that he knows how to tweet GIFs. That's the big story here. That's the very big story. Chase Sherman, who is fighting this weekend, one of the up-and-coming... one of the Brandon Gibson. I missed it. Brandon Gibson actually replied to us. He said, I have a very busy day. I don't have time to get into a GIF war with Chase. So there you have it. And then he actually tweeted out a GIF. That was a lot of fun. You know, it's fun talking to a guy in his position because, as I said, we often talk to older fighters who are fighting for belts, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, but it's rare we get the opportunity to talk to someone on his way up. $115 in his bank account as he was preparing to fight Rashad Coulter. How about that? That is amazing.